Hi, Nature Bros fans. I am here today because I wanted to talk to you about Yule, or the winter solstice. We are already in December, so that time of year is fast approaching. So we're going to cover sort of like what it is vaguely, because it's both a very complicated holiday and it's also a very simple holiday. Um, so I'm going to read to you a little bit from this book, Wicca for Beginners by T.S. Bin. Okay. And they have a nice section where they sort of break down the holidays really simply for you. So that's why I've chosen that particular book. So it says many Wiccans, because this one's geared towards the Wiccan faith. Many Wiccans celebrate the winter solstice, which is more commonly called Yule, as the birth of God. Okay? At Yule, the new God comes to earth bringing hope and light. It's because Yule is the shortest day. We have the shortest amount of daylight hours. And so for most Yule celebrations in any pagan faith, the goal is to celebrate the year that we've had as well as sort of encourage the days to get longer again. That's kind of the gist of it. So it says some Wiccans believe that at Yule the Oak King, king of the light half the year, defeats the Holly King, the god of the dark half. So by the light defeating the dark, our days then become longer. Now, the Holly King began his rule at the summer solstice, where the days then began getting shorter. Okay. And it said Wiccans tend to feast, give gifts, and focus on children. Storytelling, games, and songs are very common. And that's sort of it from that book. But the thing about Yule is it's all about celebration, right? Like the harvests have already happened. That happened back at the last solstice, right? During the fall solstice. So the harvests have happened, and we're wanting to get through those cold winter days. And this is a celebration to get together on the shortest daylight hour day of the year and remember everything that we have to look forward to. So the light coming back to life, right? The earth is going to come back to life, and we're going to bring on the spring, which will then bring on like the new planting seasons and everything. So this is sort of a time to celebrate what was and what will be, which is sort of what the New Year's celebrations for most people are. You sort of reflect on your years past. So in a lot of ways, the Yule celebrations are very similar to like New Year's celebration, right? And sort of the way that like my family celebrates Yule, because we are very laid back, I guess might be a good way to say it, about holidays. We don't really go big for anything. Um, like we have a family of four. We're all adults at this point, and none of us do well in extremely social settings. I believe two, if not three of us have issues with sound. So just being in loud places is very difficult for us. Um, so for us going to a big huge party and celebration in that way would be a very negative thing and something that we wouldn't enjoy at all. Much like it was when I was growing up, because my parents would do like very large parties for Christmas because they were Christian, and it was always horrible for me because I couldn't stand the sights, the smells, the sounds, just everything was very overwhelming. And Christmas in general is really geared to being big, big sights, big sounds, big lights, everything's big. And so for us, Christmas really is not a great thing, right? So we tend to celebrate a little bit on Yule. Sometimes the only thing we'll do is we'll sort of kick back, take a few minutes, and to be thankful for the year that has happened. Maybe say a quick prayer or something um, for the year to come, and we'll drink some mead, right? It's a honey wine, and it's sort of traditional from the areas that we genetically come from. Um, so that's what we do. We kick back and we drink a little bit of mead. And then after that, for our like Christmas celebrations, because my husband's a shift worker and he's always been considered an essential worker, they don't get time off around Christmas. So we would just pick a day near Christmas and we would just do fun things. We would play games together. Um, we would watch movies together and just sort of generally enjoy time together. So that that's sort of how like we celebrate. We just enjoy the time together. It usually involves, foods and now that we're all of age, it usually involves drinking as well, in moderation, and we're definitely not driving or going anywhere, right? But I mean, so for us, that's sort of the fun way that we celebrate it. Your celebrations, if you are choosing to be like Wiccan or if you're pagan or however you want to label it, like your celebrations don't have to be big. It could be as simple as lighting a candle and being like, blessed be, may the light come back in the spring, right? Like it doesn't need to be overcomplicated. And it can be very, very minimal. Like you don't have to do a lot. Or if you're the type of person who likes to go big or go home, right? In pagan celebrations, it is very common to bring in things like evergreen and holly and, all those things that are traditionally seen around as like Christmas things. They have pagan roots, and that's what we would do. You could bring in, they say you bring in like the evergreen tree to protect the forest sprites so that they can stay in your home and enjoy the warmth rather than end up freezing. And you would then decorate it with like food and fun things so that they would have something to eat and enjoy. And you would put bells on it, like on these trees, because that way, when they really enjoyed it, they could just ring the bells and tell you that they were enjoying it. They were thankful for the things that you had given them, right? So like all of these things stem in like different pagan tradition roots. So you can decorate your house, you can put up all the lights, you can do all kinds of things, um, and enjoy Christmas how everybody else does it. And you can still celebrate it on the 25th if you want to celebrate it on the 25th, or you can celebrate it on the 21st as the winter solstice. It's very faith is very flexible no matter what you choose to believe in, right? And it doesn't need to be complicated or it can be as big as you want it to be. It's a very personal thing and about how you want to celebrate it. But that's kind of how we celebrate it, um, in a very, very laid back, non complicated manner. So that's sort of it. Like that's what Yule is. It's the shortest daylight day of the year, and we just celebrate it to be thankful that now the days are gonna get longer. And I think everybody can agree with that. So, yeah, Yule. Very easy. Anyway, I'll leave you there. And I hope you enjoyed. And if you have any questions, of course, you can comment or you can contact me in any of the many ways, right? Either on Facebook or on YouTube. And like, I will try and get back to you. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.